exit lane to lane, disappear like David Blaine. Pay cash for the car, then crash anything. Smoke the cool J, now my two things. Again for another round of Beers and Beards. Don't be like Ryan. On the phone we got my great co-host
Jimmy be damned.
And this week we're talking football once again with my favorite segment. I'm sure it's yours too. Who you got? And of course, Thursday night is in the rear view, like Jimmy likes to say. The Browns went to Cincinnati and took on the Bengals, but we ain't got much to say about that, which brings us to those 1 o'clock matchups. We got Andy Reid's Kansas City Chiefs coming into Buffalo, taking on Kyle Orton, Sammy Watkins, and those Buffalo Bills. Jimmy, who you got?
Man, I am rocking with Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs.
What?
In Buffalo, man, they haven't been too kind to me when I picked 4 against them this year, so who knows what they do for me this week. But look, man, I like Orton. He's a good guy, but he's a game manager. The Chiefs,
true.
They're up, they're down. You know, this is one of those flip a coin. I'm going with Kansas City.
Well, I'm a little bit undecided, man. I hear you on that. This one definitely is a toss-up. Neither team has been too consistent. The Chiefs have been more consistent by leaps and bounds. They've been more consistent than the Bills. But the Bills are home. Kyle Orton is the game manager, like you said, but so is Alex Smith. And I just think that raucous crowd is going to take the Bills over the top. I'm going Buffalo, which brings us to this next matchup. Those Miami Dolphins surprised everyone last week, pitching a shutout on Phillip Rivers and those San Diego Chargers. This week, don't be like Ryan Tannehill, is bringing the circus to Detroit, Motown. Hopefully Megatron will be there. Matt Stafford's going to be there. But, Jimmy, who you got?
Is this the first half of the season or the second half? It's the second half, right?
Oh, yeah.
Man, we know what the Lions do in the second half of the season, and Miami was red hot last week. I'm rolling with your boy Tannehill and those Dolphins.
You know, this is another one I've been on the fence about. Man, the Lions are sitting great. I think their record is 6-2 at the moment. But it's looking like the Dolphins are clicking on all cylinders. I can't call it. But why don't you hit us up on the Twitter or on the Facebook. Let us know what you think about this matchup. For argument's sake, I'm going with the Lions, which brings us to a team that Jimmy loves to hate and a team that is starting to show some signs of life. We got those San Francisco 49ers going to the Superdome, taking on those New Orleans Saints. Jimmy, who you got?
Man, I don't know about signs of life. I know we ran it and fumbled the ball to lose the game when, you know, last year, the year before, we would have put Frank Gore right up the middle. Forget a quarterback sneak. That wouldn't have happened. So I don't know where they are. I don't know where their offensive identity is. But I don't see them having another game like that. Maybe they get back to the run. Maybe they learn their lesson. It pains me to do so, but I'm going to pick the San Francisco 49ers.
You must be on something. I mean, I know you're via satellite. I don't know if you're under the weather. If you are, the NyQuil is definitely getting to you. The 49ers are not about to beat the Saints at home. Now, I'm surprised you made that pick because I know how much you hate the 49ers. Now, the 49ers, you're right. They're probably pissed from last week, and they're going to be fired up. But, I mean, the way things are going in the organization, everybody knows Harbaugh is going to wind up not keeping the job. It seems like the players are playing knowing that they ain't going to have that guy for a coach next year. And the Saints have pulled off 2 impressive wins, one on a Sunday night and, of course, the following Thursday. I got to go with Drew Brees and the Saints at home. But there's a matchup on this day that has sparked the curiosity of minds, of great minds across the country. Nope, not just the country, but around the globe. Because this game will be played in London. You have the great Dallas Cowboy football team going to London to take on those Jacksonville Jaguars. Can we next this one or do I gotta ask you, Jimmy, who you got?
Man, I'd like to see that those Cowboys are going down for a third boy Romo doesn't make it onto the field. I don't know what that situation is going to shape up to be just yet. Regardless, whether it's Romo or Whedon, I think it's a romp. I'll go with you, Cowboys.
And he's making sense. We're making sense. But we about to make some dollars. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but we'll be right back after these messages.
Top headline, rockin' for centuries, hard times now. You get yours eventually, but y'all gon' remember me from now to infinity. On top till you sick of me, top headline, rockin' for centuries, hard times now. You get yours eventually, but y'all gon' remember me.
Those who rise against us will be destroyed. Those who have achieved an elevated existence, raise your fists.
You're watching Beers and Beards. I'm Don't Be Like Ryan. We got live via satellite my man, your friend and mine, Jimmy B. Damn. Jimmy, say hi to the people one more time.
What's up, good people of our television viewing audience? Also, those of you watching us online, you have great taste, and I salute you.
And, of course, they got great taste. They're definitely watching us. We got great taste. I'm drinking both Foster's and 8-Point IPA. Jimmy, what you drinking over there, boss?
You're doing it right. I'm rocking the PBR.
I'm about to say.
I like the PBR, but I would trade you right now.
Well, I'm definitely cool with a trade because I'm a big fan of that PBR as well. But let's get right back into it. We got a couple of more 1 o'clock games coming up. We with those Tennessee Titans rolling into Baltimore to take on those Ravens. Jimmy, who you got?
I gotta go with the Ravens. I think we might be, looking at doing something different in Tennessee at QB. Who knows who they're trotting out? Yeah, Baltimore is one of those teams this year that they don't like me whether I pick for them or against them, but I'm going with them this week, and I bet they do me right playing the Titans.
And you know something? I think you're right. We ain't got to spend too much time on that one because that train's going next. Brings us right to the New York Giants playing in the New York Jets playing in New Jersey, where those Pittsburgh Steelers, who are on a effing roll. Big Ben's thrown 6 touchdowns in the last 2 games. This game, it looks like he might be able to throw for another 6 touchdowns. It's the Steelers and the Jets. Jimmy, who you got?
Man, he might only need to throw 1 to win this game. I can't pick the Jets. Can anybody pick the Jets at this point in time against anyone? I don't even know if I pick the Jets against Jacksonville, my man.
Well, I'll put it like this. Big Ben may not have to score 6 touchdowns, but I'm pretty sure the Jets aren't going to throw a touchdown this Sunday whatsoever. We're both going to Steelers, which brings us to Tampa Bay, where those Atlanta Falcons are hoping to get things back on track, taking on the division rival Buccaneers. Jimmy, who you got?
I think back to the beginning of the year when I was reading my Sports Illustrated illustrated season preview, and they somehow picked Tampa Bay to win that division. And I thought they were crazy for doing so, but a lot of people were pumped about the moves they made and Lovie Smith coming in. Man, that might be the most disappointing team in football this year, and there are a couple of teams vying for that award. So I can't roll with them, man. I got to go with the Falcons, airing it out.
I'm going with the Falcons in Bizarro World. Unfortunately, I know how many points the Falcons put up on the Buccaneers earlier on the season. However, the Falcons were home, and this time the Bucs are home. I think the Bucs are still pissed from that loss. I think the Bucs are showing a lot more fight now than they were earlier on in the season, and I think the Falcons are primed for the picking. I'm going with the Bucs in what I'm calling an upset. But
well, that's an upset. That's an upset.
Speaking of upsets, I don't want our fans and viewing audience to be upset, but we are going to take a quick commercial break. We will be right back after these short messages from our sponsors. Who you got? This is Beers&Beards. Don't be like Ryan. On the telephone, we got my man.
Jimmy be damned.
You know it. And this week, of course, Sunday, we got 4 o'clock games coming up as well, where we see those Denver Broncos fresh off of a surprising loss to those.
Didn't surprise you and I, man.
No, it didn't surprise me that they lost, and I'm sure it didn't surprise you as well, but I'm pretty sure we're both surprised at how bad they lost last week. What do you say about that?
I don't know if I was all that shocked, my man. I mean, sometimes it's just how it goes when Peyton goes to play Tom and Bill, and I just had a feeling, man, New England is red hot right now. I think they're easily the class of the AFC, and I don't know how anybody could argue that after last week.
Well, I think you're right, and I think this week we will see a different Broncos team because Peyton Manning is marching his Broncos into Oakland, the black hole, to take on the Raiders. Jimmy, who you got?
I'm about to call the biggest upset of this season, and let me tell you why. Wait a minute. I ain't drink that much. Let me scale that back. I'm going to go with your Denver Broncos. I'm drinking PBR. If I had your IPA and Foster's, and I was drinking both of those in unison, maybe I call that upset, but thankfully I can see straight, and I can also walk a straight line, and I will take the Denver Broncos.
And you are drinking and picking responsibly, so this brings us to a matchup that I'm sure you're going to look forward to see. I know anytime 2 teams that I hate play each other, I'm always excited. This week we got 2 guys that you know very well with those St. Louis Rams and Arizona Cardinals playing in Arizona. Jimmy, who you got?
So this is the thing, man. I think the Rams, they still got both of their games against Arizona coming up. They're going to play really close in one of these 2 games. They might even win one of these 2 games, but I can't pick them in Arizona. I think maybe this one gets away from them, but look for a closer battle when this happens in St. Louis.
Well, don't get me wrong. I actually think this will be close. Unfortunately, I think that the Rams will probably win in St. Louis because I know that they've beaten the 49ers and the Seahawks. But I'm not going to rub it all in or nothing like that. You're going Arizona. I'm going Arizona too, which brings us right to the 12th man at 425. You got Eli Manning bringing those New York football Giants into Seattle to take on your Seahawks. After Monday night, where I had a little bit of hope for the Giants, I'm pretty certain where you're going with this one, so I'm going to give the floor to you, bro.
Yeah, honestly, I think my Seahawks, the defense is coming around. The offense has struggled the last 2 weeks, but we saw what they had earlier in the year. I think they get back to that. I think Seattle's primed for a blowout. This could be the game we see that happen. You know, we haven't seen that this year. But everybody's bringing their A game when they play the Seahawks. I mean, we saw it with Oakland. Obviously, the Rams pulled every trick in the book out. So I'm taking my Hawks, and I have a feeling it could be a big day for Seattle. But I'm not going to be shocked at all if it's a close, nitty-gritty battle. Either way, Seattle pulls this one out. The 12th man may get an assist.
Next, which brings us right to that Sunday night matchup in Lambeau Field. We got the hapless, Cutler-led Chicago Bears going all the way to Green Bay, Wisconsin to take on Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Divisional matchup in Green Bay. Jimmy, who you got?
Man, the heat is on in Chicago. The heat is on Jay Cutler. The heat is on head coach Mark Trestman.
Oh, yeah.
They are coming off the bye. All right, big divisional game. If there's any hope for the Bears and that offense with all that firepower, which just hasn't come together like we thought it would, this is the week. I'm seeing a shootout going down in Green Bay, and I'm going to roll with the Bears. If they don't pull this one out, I close the book on them in 2014. But I just got a feeling all that heat, all that pressure coming off the bye, man, these guys better be at the absolute best they'll need to be to beat Green Bay. But I think maybe they make that divisional race a little more interesting. I call the Bears.
What? You're taking the Bears? All right, now listen. Unless you got some inside information, according to your sources, that Jay Cutler is back on his meds because he's up 1 week and he's down the next. And just because they got the bye, I am not co-signing the Bears. Every time this season that I have felt comfortable and confident picking the Bears, they have stabbed me in the back. Therefore, I'm going with the sure bet, Aaron Rodgers, and those Green Bay Packers.
Hey, Southern Virginia, do you need a commercial for your business? Well, Animate Now is the response to all your business marketing. We provide animation, presentations, professionalism, and solid competitive compositions and services, which include digital production, commercials, short films, movies, and motion graphics. Our cinematography covering your marketing is an essential resource for a good company. And as good workers, we provide every creative service. For more info, visit us at www.animatenow.com.
Beers and Beards, we're your hosts. Don't be like Ryan on the phone.
Damned.
You know it. And of course, you wanted more. We're giving you more. More beers, more beards, and more games. And of course, on Monday night, it's going down in Philly where your man, Killer Cam, is taking those Carolina Panthers to Philadelphia to take on not Sproles and Foles, who both may wind up being ruled out in this game, but Sanchez and McCoy. Jimmy, who you got?
Now, you're really going to think I'm crazy, but I am going to take those Eagles, and I'm not just going to take those Eagles because they're at home. I'm not just going to take those Eagles because the Panthers have been up and down. I'm going to take those Panthers because I think Dirty Mark Sanchez is going to outperform Cam Newton.
And you know something? 2 weeks ago, I would have accused you of some type of tomfoolery going on over there. But, man, honestly, after watching Mark Sanchez last week, after hearing all the reports coming up out of Philadelphia regarding how now it could possibly be Sanchez's team. Like he's won the locker room over. Like Foles may be out of there next year. I hate to say it, and I hate to see it, but I think that those Philadelphia Eagles, those filthy pigeons, are going to pull it out and dominate Killer Cam and those Panthers. And it is mostly because the Panthers have just been looking terrible. I mean, normally with a backup quarterback in a game of this magnitude, I think that the game would at least be close. Like, it'd be a fight. But honestly, I think Sanchez could lead the Eagles to blow out the Panthers this Monday night. You got a point? You got a score from him?
Let's be real. I mean, Sanchez, you can say what you like about him, all right? Much quicker release than Foles. A little more mobility, I think.
Yeah.
I think he's a better fit for this offense. I really think that we might see something more like Chip Kelly was doing last year with Sanchez at the helm than what we've seen this year, which just really hasn't gone off with Foles behind center.
I hear that. I definitely do. But, of course, in a minute, we'll wrap this all up. But there's one thing that has been a burning question in my mind. We're not going to go 3 questions this week. This week, we're going to go 1 question. Jimmy B. Dam, the owner of those Coney Island Warriors, I need you to explain to me how exactly my team's down 7 points with 2 guys playing in the Sunday night game and all your guys done and spoken for the entire weekend. We only need 7 points. We get 20 points. You guys wind up beating us anyway. How did it happen, Jimmy?
The one kooky thing about our league, we put a little more on the defense than a lot of leagues do. And the scoring with ESPN, which is who we use for our fantasy league, the defensive score that you see is seldom accurate. I believe it's the tackles. I believe you get scores for your safety, your touchdowns, your picks, but we also get some points for the tackles they make. They tally those up after the fact. So you were sitting on a win. You had put the Coney Island Warriors down, or so it appears. But that Seattle Seahawks defense out there, their score jumped. I believe it jumped about 8.5 points after the fact once they tallied the tackles. So I wound up getting the win, and I'm going to go ahead and toot my horn a little bit. You know, it's been an ugly year for me, or it was early on. Right now, though, I'm getting back in the game. I'm at 500. I've got the longest win streak. And I just have to say, my man, you caught me with almost everybody on bye. I had to hit the waiver wire to have a complete roster. I put some scrubs out there, and somehow they scrubbed you. I don't even know how that happened. I thought I was going down in flames.
And you know what? This win does not sit well with me. This is a terrible win. You guys should not take this win. I don't know what's going on. This show is out of order. The whole damn room's out of order. Now,
we'll take it. The Coney Island Warriors will take it. And I will say this. I named the team the Coney Island Warriors after the Warriors movie you and I enjoyed. And I was thinking about this as I started my comeback, which I feel like now I'm on my way. You know, the movie didn't start too well for the Warriors. So maybe when I named them after the Warriors, it was a self-fulfilling prophecy that things were going to be rocky at the beginning of the year. But we're bopping our way back to Coney Island now, my man.
Well, you guys may be bopping your way back to Coney Island. My guys want to know how about those Colt 45s. But, of course, this is Beers and Beards, and we'll be right back after this short break. world, don't be like Ryan here. You are watching Beers and Beards. And of course, this is the all-time greatest show where we talk about football, wrestling, comics, movies, anything awesome. Got awesome guys, awesome beards, and awesome beers. Right now I'm holding up a Foster's because Foster's is Australian for beer. And an 8-point IPA from Devil's Backbone Brewing Company that is tasting great. But of course, before we get into our game picks this week, we got a special guest on the line. It is none other than the Old English New England Patriots fan, and I'm sure he has a lot to say, especially considering that his New England Patriots just came off of a convincing landslide victory over everybody's favorite Peyton Manning, Denver Broncos. Do we got the OE on the line?
Hi. Hey, how you doing?
What's going on, boss?
I didn't want to take up too much time, but I just want to touch on a couple of bits and bobs about what happened last week as far as what I expected to happen, how it all went down, and pretty much what to look forward to in the future, because, go Pats. I'm a Pats fan. I can't hide it. I can't shake it. It just happens. First and foremost, my main thing is the game, to say the least, was exactly what I expected, only because I wasn't expecting my boy Thomas Brady to lose at home to Peyton Manning and those Denver Broncos. Pretty much are the hype, and I do say hype because I believe it's all hype of the NFL. They treat it like as if Peyton Manning is a god, worship the feet that he walks on, and you know what? It's cool to be gone, but you're just food for real Titans. And I don't mean the Tennessee Titans. I mean Bill Belichick, Gronk, and that awesome defense. It just amazed me to watch that game after all the effort that ESPN put in and the NFL put in to hype up Peyton Manning.
Well, I know you got some strong feelings about that, about ESPN specifically. OE, what are your thoughts on ESPN and their treatment of Manning?
Oh, honestly, I say this, and I don't know if this is going to make, the proper ratings and all that jazz, but ESPN for me stands for effortlessly sucking Peyton's nads. I'm sorry, they worked way too hard to prop this guy up on a pedestal as if on any given Sunday he can't get laid out, cracked, or, as we saw on Sunday, lose horribly. We watched him choke in the Super Bowl, and me, as a fan of the New England Patriots, of the AFC, it hurt my heart to watch us be represented by such porous play during the Super Bowl, and we showed up this Sunday to let them know that they can effortlessly suck Peyton's nads as much as they want, but when he goes up against Tom, Bill, Gronk, and the rest of the New England Patriots, it's pretty much you're the regular guy, we're varsity, you're JV, son, you're JV. I can't even, it just boggles my mind that they put so much effort into it, because you have people like Russell Wilson. The man just won the Super Bowl last year over Peyton Manning. Did he get half the hype that Peyton Manning gets? Oh, God, no.
No.
But the ring. He has that ring. And I understand that Peyton has been doing it for years, and he has all these accolades, and he's breaking records and la-dee-da. At the end of the day, he's just a mere man who has pretty much been sitting behind the wheel of a Ferrari for the entire time that he's been in the league. I'm sorry, he had Reggie Wayne when he was in Indianapolis, and now he has those Thomas boys who pretty much do whatever they want to everybody else except my Patriots. So I just wanted to let that be known that these people need to stop drinking the Peyton-flavored Kool-Aid. They really do. It's unnecessary. It's bloody unnecessary. It's bollocks.
Well, the people are drinking Peyton flavored Kool-Aid. We are drinking Foster's. I'm sure you're drinking some OE. And we will be right back in just a moment with more Beers and Beards. Hey, thanks, Old English. Thanks a lot. Back, but only long enough to say goodbye. This has been another great episode of Beers and Beards. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you check this out on YouTube, you could also check us out on Channel 16 if you're in the Southern Virginia area. And if you check this out on Channel 16, you should definitely check us out on YouTube and catch up on past episodes. Don't be like Ryan. I got my man here.
Jimmy be damned.
And this has been Beers and Beards. Also, make sure you hit us up on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, Google. Beers and Beards. Google us.
eHarmony.
And drink responsibly.
Wait, are we on eHarmony?
We're not on eHarmony, but since you said that, I'll set the profile up on game day.